information. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq returns home after a 2-day state visit to Kuwait. His Majesty the Sultan and Emir of the State of Kuwait continue to discuss at Bayan Palace aspects of existing bilateral cooperation between the two countries. And His Majesty the Sultan visits the Al Salam Palace Museum in the capital, Kuwait. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq arrived to the homeland after concluding a 2-day state visit to the state of Kuwait in response to the generous invitation from His Highness Sheikh Mishal Al-Ahmed Jabir Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait. Upon his arrival, His Majesty the Sultan was received by the following at the Royal Palace: His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers; His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan; His Highness Sayyid Yazan bin Haitham Al Saeed, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth; His Excellency Sheikh Abd Malik bin Abdullah Al Khalili, Chairman of the State Council; His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al Mali, Chairman of the Shura Council; His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Judicial Council; His Excellency Nasser bin Hamoud Al Kindi, Secretary General of the Diwan of the Royal Court Affairs; Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bin Ahmed Al Shabaniya, Minister of Education; His Excellency Sheikh Al Fadl bin Mohammed Al Harthi, Secretary General of the Council of Ministers; His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen Shariqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs; His Excellency Lieutenant General Saeed bin Ali Al Hilali, Head of the Internal Security Service; His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saeed Al Ma'mari, Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs; His Excellency Dr. Hilal bin Ali Al Sabti, Minister of Health; Vice Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis Al Raisi, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces; Major General Matar bin Salim Al Blushi, Commander of the Royal Army of Oman; Air Vice Marshal Khamis bin Hamid Al Ghafri, Commander of the Royal Air Force of Oman; Rear Admiral Saif bin Nasr Rahbi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman; and Major General Muslim Muhammad Ya'bub, Commander of the Sultan's Armed Forces, Special Forces. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq left the state of Kuwait this evening after a 2-day state visit. His Highness Sheikh Mishal Al-Ahmed Jabir Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, led the farewell ceremony for His Majesty the Sultan at the Emiri Palace and the airport. His Majesty the Sultan was also seen off by the following: His Excellency Sheikh Ahmed Abdullah Al-Ahmed Al-Sabah, Prime Minister; His Highness Sheikh Sabah Khalid Hamad Al-Sabah, Head of the Mission of Honor; His Excellency Sheikh Fahad Yusuf Saud Al-Sabah, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Defense and Minister of Interior; His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Al-Mubarak Al-Sabah, Minister of Amiri Diwan Affairs; His Excellency Sharida Abdullah Saad Al-Mu'sharji, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Council of Ministers Affairs; His Excellency Dr. Imad Mohammed Al-Atiqi, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Oil; His Excellency Ahmed Fahad Al-Fahad, Under Secretary of the Amiri Diwan; His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Nasser Al-Hagri, Ambassador of the State of Kuwait to the Sultan of Oman, and senior Kuwaiti officials and members of the Omani Embassy in Kuwait. Upon his departure, His Majesty the Sultan sent a cable of thanks to His Highness Sheikh Mish'al Al Ahmed Jabr Al Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait. In the cable, His Majesty the Sultan expressed his sincere appreciation to His Highness Sheikh Mish'al for the warm welcome and hospitality he received. His Majesty the Sultan was accompanied by a high-ranking official delegation comprising His Highness Sheikh Shihab bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for Defense Affairs, His Highness Sayyid Al-Arab bin Haytham Al Said, His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of Diwan of the Royal Court, His Excellency General Sultan bin Muhammad Al Namani, Minister of the Royal Office, His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, His Excellency Dr. Hamad bin Said Al-Aufi, Head of the Private Office, His Excellency Abdul Salam bin Muhammad Al-Murshidi, Chairman of the Oman Investment Authority, His Excellency Qais bin Muhammad Al-Yusuf, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion, and His Excellency Dr. Saleh bin Amir Al-Kharousi, Ambassador of the Sultan of Oman to the State of Kuwait. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq and His Highness Sheikh Mish'al bin Ahmed Al-Jabr Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, held a fraternal meeting at His Majesty's residence at Bayan Palace in the capital Kuwait this morning. During the meeting, the two leaders continued to discuss aspects of existing bilateral cooperation between the two countries in a way that supports and strengthens fraternal relations between the brotherly Omani and Kuwaiti peoples and achieves more of their aspirations for development and prosperity. The meeting was attended from the Omani side by His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for Defense Affairs, His Highness Sayyid Al-Arab bin Haytham Al Said, His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Saidi, Minister of the Diwan Royal Court, His Excellency General Sultan Muhammad Al Namani, Minister of the Royal Office, His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, His Excellency Dr. Hamad bin Said Al-Aufi, Head of the Private Office, His Excellency Abdul Salam bin Muhammad Al-Murshidi, Chairman of the Oman Investment Authority, His Excellency Qais bin Muhammad Al-Yusuf, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion, His Excellency Dr. Saleh bin Amr Al-Kharousi, Ambassador of the Sultan of Oman, accredited to the State of Kuwait. From the Kuwaiti side, it was attended by His Highness Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Hamid Al-Sabah, Head of the Mission of Honor, and His Excellency Dr. Muhammad bin Nasser Al-Hajri, the accredited Ambassador of the State of Kuwait to the Sultanate of Oman. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq today visited As-Salam Palace Museum in Kuwait City as part of the current state visit to the State of Kuwait. Upon his arrival at the museum, His Majesty the Sultan was received by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Mubarak Al Sabah, Minister of Amiri Diwan Affairs, Her Excellency Sheikha Muna Al Jabr Al Abdullah Al Sabah, Head of the Center for Historical Documents and Amiri Diwan Museums and Libraries, Supervisor General of As-Salam Palace Museum, and other Kuwaiti officials. His Majesty Sultan went on tour of the museum's galleries. He listened to a technology-enhanced briefing about the museum's artifacts and manuscripts that highlight important aspects of the history and civilization of the State of Kuwait. His Majesty Sultan took note of exhibits and the main halls showcasing salient features of civilizations and events that took place in Kuwait, symbolized by a diverse range of selected antiques. At the end of the tour, His Majesty the Sultan signed the VIP Visitors Book, in which he expressed his delight at visiting As-Salam Palace Museum, as well as his admiration over the precious archaeological collections and antiques that indicate the historical legacy of the State of Kuwait and its deep-rooted culture. He thanks those in charge of the edifice of their efforts in perfectly documenting Kuwait's history. Then His Majesty the Sultan accepted the commemorative gift from the museum's officials. During the visit, His Majesty the Sultan was accompanied by His Highness Sheikh Sabah Khalid Hamad Al Sabah, head of the mission of honor and member of the official delegation accompanying His Majesty during his state visit to Kuwait. You're watching the Sultan of Oman television. Still to come a news bulletin. To support youth and empower them in the labour market, the third batch of Makin camps graduated. During its meeting today, the Shura Council office reviewed a number of governmental responses, including the Council of Ministers' response to the desire expressed by the Council to allocate lands for investments, the proceeds of which would go to the maintenance and repair of a flood in the Sultanate of Oman. Also, the response of the Minister of Housing and Urban Planning regarding requests for housing assistance, and the response of the Minister of Labour to the briefing request submitted regarding the development of the professional paths in the electricity sector, in addition to the report of the Youth and Human Resources Committee regarding a draft proposal to amend the law on the fund to support sports, culture and youth activities. The Council's office also reviewed a number of reports from delegations participating in regions, international meetings and forums. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al Mauli, Chairman of the Council. Arab Foreign Ministers held today in the Bahraini capital Manama the preparatory meeting of the League of Arab States Council at the summit level in its 33rd session. The meeting discussed many files related to strengthening Arab solidarity, to confront geopolitical, economic and security challenges and developments of the situation in the Arab region, most notably the developments in the Palestinian issue and the ongoing Israeli war on the Gaza Strip. The Sultan of Oman's delegation to the meeting was headed by His Excellency Abdullah bin Nasser Rahbi, the Sultan of Oman's accredited ambassador to the Arab Republic of Egypt and the permanent representative to the Arab League states. His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, visited the Youth Center. The guest and his accompanying delegation were briefed on the center's experience, its work mechanism, and the activities it is working on within the framework of an official visit he is making to the Sultan of Oman. His Excellency the guest and the accompanying delegation watched the visual presentation about the Youth Center and the most important indicators and statistics about the programs since the establishment of the center. His Excellency the guest also toured the center's facilities and listened to the experiences of small and medium enterprises, SMEs. Under the patronage of His Excellency Sayyid Saud bin Hilal Al Busaidi, the Governor of Muscat, the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Muscat inaugurated the activities of the first international conference on innovative engineering sciences and technological research 2024. More in the following report.
To make a significant impact in the fields of engineering and technology, the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Muscat hosted the first international conference on innovative engineering sciences and technological research 2024, gathering international experts, researchers, and academics to showcase their research findings. The conference proceedings are intended for inclusion in the IEEE Explore and other databases.
we have received around 1,156 papers. Out of these, we done a peer review, and we picked around 9% only. That's around 100, and we are hoping to publish these papers in IEEE Explore. We have already done the agreement, and this is, of course, for us as UTAS, it's helpful because we're looking to be ranked in QS in Times, and this is one of the aims of Oman Vision 2040. This will give academic reputation to UTAS. It will give, as well, it will build bonds and relationship with different participants from different universities around the world.
The two-day conference features keynote speeches, technical sessions, and workshops discussing emerging technologies and their implications for future innovations across multiple disciplines, from artificial intelligence and renewable energy to biomedical engineering and data science.
One of my special interests is making online distance education as good as in-person, live, classroom-based teaching, because these days, partly because of the pandemic, our students have gotten very, very comfortable with taking classes online. The problem is when you do a class online, if you're not interacting in real time and you're watching the lectures asynchronously, you watch other students having discussions and answering polls, but it's not an engaging experience if you're watching it after the fact. So we've been building a number of sort of innovative solutions to address this problem. And one of the other innovations I'll be talking about is our creation with a colleague of mine, David Malin, of a virtual artificial intelligence 24/7 tutor, which can answer questions about programming problems and anything that's relevant to the course that we teach, Introduction to Computer Science.
It's really important when we design new infrastructure systems, whether it be power or communications or water infrastructure, to account for changes in climate, changes in technology. And so I think this is a great opportunity to hear how we can proactively plan for those systems in light of some of those changes.
As a venue for innovation, the International Conference on Innovative Engineering Sciences and Technological Research not only supports academic advancement, but also aims to bridge the gap between theoretical research and real-world application. This conference is a wonderful opportunity for professionals and students alike to engage with the latest trends in engineering and technology, ensuring a vibrant exchange of innovative solutions that could shape the future of these critical fields. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Salih Bukhalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
Nama Group launched a fixed service related to paying system, a fixed monthly amount throughout the year in order to avoid the financial problems that some subscribers may face due to high electricity bills during the summer period. More in the following report.
In a media conference held today, Nama Supply Company alongside Nama Distribution Company and Nama the Fire Services Company unveiled a series of initiatives aimed at bolstering customer satisfaction and efficiency in the electricity sector.
We talk about the readiness of Nama Electricity Company to ensure that the reliability of the system, the network, a lot of projects done to ensure the reliability of the system. Also talk about the readiness of the teams who work to ensure the electricity in the site. Is there any case, the team calls, any customer calls the call center or contact center for any support, the team is ready for 24 hours.
The key highlights include educating customers about tariffs and subsidies, introducing the Nama Services app, and implementing the Thabit service for managing summer bills. Details related to customers' rights to basic account tariffs and how it positively impacts electricity bill was well emphasized during the discussions with the media representatives.
Some of the main benefits that we are expecting from implementing the smart meter solutions, one of them is that the easiness of switching between prepaid and postpaid meters. So this is one of the main focus area. The other one is the management of consumption. So the meter will send to the customer his consumption periodically, so he can receive number of bills or number of notification to show him how he is managing his consumption of electricity, so he can manage it in the future.
The company strives to provide appropriate solutions that contribute to service improvements and enhance customer satisfaction.
We are glad to announce Thabit service. It is a flat payment. Will enable the customers to pay a fixed amount during the year based on last 12 months consumption. There will be 3 packages based on the consumption, and the customer will pay flat payment regardless the actual consumption. And after the period, 12-month period, there will not be adjustment, rather than the difference will be added to the next payment plan, Thabit, or will be adjusted also from the payment plan.
The conference emphasized the infrastructure improvements and contingency plans by Nama Distribution to ensure reliability, along with efforts to leverage smart technology for efficient network management. Nama Fire Services also emphasized preparations for the upcoming season. The Smart Meters project, with completion rates over 45%, aims to maximize benefits for customers. Overall, Nama Group's commitment to innovation and service quality in the electricity sector was showcased. This meeting here showcased the commitment to improving the electricity sector with customer-focused initiatives, advanced technologies and reliable infrastructure. With the new services and ongoing projects, they promise a more efficient and sustainable future for electricity services. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology celebrated the graduation of the third and final batch of members of the first edition of McKean Camps, which is organized in the cooperation with the Programming Academy. 100 job seekers, both male and female, were graduated in 5 different tracks. These camps are part of the national initiatives to qualify digital competences aimed at providing training opportunities and qualifying job seekers in the field of modern technologies in support of youth and empowering them in the labor market. The ceremony was sponsored by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Amr Al-Shidani, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Transport, Communications, Information Technology for Communications. You're watching the Sound of Oman television. Before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq returns home after a 2-day state visit to Kuwait. His Majesty Sultan and the Emir of the State of Kuwait continue to discuss at the Bayan Palace aspects of existing bilateral cooperation between the two countries. And His Majesty Sultan visits the As-Salam Palace Museum in the capital, Kuwait. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from overseas newsroom and the studios, and myself, Suhail Al-Kindi. Stay safe. Good night.